God can't use men who still seek comfort, right? I was just in 2 Timothy. Check this out. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Two things right there. Endure hardness, and the second, as a good soldier. Like we see, this is literally a war. This is literally a war between our flesh and our spirit. A war between our purpose and our pleasure. Right? And you have two choices every single day. You have two options that you can pick to go into, to walk down. But you can't work at both at the same time. Right? And comfort is that illusion that kills your calling, that kills your purpose. Every single time that you give into pleasure, your short-term desires, you are setting aside your purpose and essentially putting in your head that it doesn't matter as much. You're devaluing every single thing that you've prayed for, every single thing that you've built, and saying that the short-term pleasure that you know doesn't amount to anything is more worth it, right? He says, thou therefore endure hardness. We know this comes with battle. We know this is going to be a war. Literally, God tells us it's not supposed to be easy. That's what makes it fun. Being a soldier, waking up, and every single day it's a new battle, a new opportunity to overcome, new blessings to go out and attack and make the most out of, right? But always remember that the illusion of this world is comfort, and that comfort kills callings 100% of the time, right? Most men will pray for purpose, but what's the point of asking for this purpose, asking for more in your life when you just keep giving into the pleasure, right? Until you're the man who can actually put that aside and walk with more, why would God entrust you with more? Why would God give you this great purpose if you can't even, make the most out of what you have right now? In Luke chapter 16, verse 10, it talks about that. Those who are faithful with little are also faithful with much, and vice versa. Those who aren't faithful with little, God can't trust to be faithful with much. God can't trust to give you more if you keep walking in this pleasure. Why would God give you this huge purpose if you keep walking in this pleasure, right? Comfort is where the calling dies because it keeps you numb to your responsibility. It keeps you numb. It distracts you, right? And every single time, boom, you choose sin, you're slapping God in the face, right? Essentially. We're saying that our way is better. Our cravings are better than the way he intended for it to be. Right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Only Jesus Christ is perfect. I do this all the time. And I'm talking through conviction, right? Because how can we lead other people if we can't even lead our own lives, right? God never called you to live an easy life. This life, literally endure as a soldier. This is war. This is war every single day. He called you to be an obedient one who can endure hardness, no matter what gets thrown at you, right? In chapter 6 of Ephesians, you have that armor of God. You have his strength. You have his energy that will push you through, right? And if we go to Matthew 16, verse 24, it says, let me pull it up real quick. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, right? That's that pleasure. Deny the comfort, deny the short-term desires, deny the flesh, and take up his cross and follow me, right? You have to deny the comfort. You have to deny the pleasure. But soon you will seek pleasure in obedience. You will seek pleasure in this discipline. Guys, I've been following this, every single morning I wake up and it's just like a war in my mind, complete war, just purpose over pleasure. Am I going to follow what God has for me today, or I'm going to live and just wake up and scroll? It's always a war. It's a decision every single day, no matter how many hundreds of days that I've been doing this for. But it's crazy. And every single day starts off like that. Every single day starts off hard. Yet every single day that I decide to put my purpose over my pleasure, it's a great day. It's true pleasure. It doesn't feel like a wasted day. I don't have anxiety that I'm not doing enough. I know that God is walking with me. I have that trust in God. I have that faithfulness and walking with that. Actually knowing that you're aligning yourself with the man God is calling you out to be and becoming this character that God has built you out for, to help other people, to lead your own life, to whatever it is. It's all different for every single person. But when you're walking in that purpose that he has for you, everything changes. And this pain that we face, this war that we face, is proof that we're growing. It's not a punishment. It's proof that you're in training. Right? When the life is hard, like God says, when you're doing the right thing, people will hate. When you're doing the right thing, it hurts. It hurts, but that pain is proof. Just like in the gym, when you're hitting, if you're going in there and not feeling sore, if you're going in there, you don't feel your pump, you don't feel your muscle getting broken down, right? You're not putting in work. You're not putting in enough work, just like life. It's just like life. Literally, step by step, you are in pain to grow. Resistance doesn't mean you're off track, right? I mean, it can, that depression, that anxiety that so many people face, sure, that's them being off track. That's them being out of alignment. But this is different pain. This isn't a pain and suffering. This is a pain and comfort or purpose over pleasure. It's not the same. And when you're doing this doesn't mean you're off track. It actually means you're finally getting stronger. You're finally getting this conviction. You finally realize that God uses difficulty to shape us. He uses the pain to mold us and sculpt us into the man, into the character that can hold out the purpose that he has for us. That's what discipline is being able to be broken down for your own benefit. Is being able to endure the hardness like a good soldier, like a literal war, holding up your cross like it says in Matthew chapter 16, right? If we go to James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, let me flip to it real quick. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. That's crazy, right? Count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right? That patience that God is molding us and sculpting us, because you will fall. Literally, it says in James, like, be joyous when you fall, because that's how you know God is working. Because when you know that you gave into the comfort, when you know you gave into the pleasure, when you acknowledge the sin in your life, that brings conviction. That brings change. Because something which is not acknowledged cannot ever be overcome. And too many people do this. They push down, oh, I'm not addicted to nicotine. I'm not addicted to vape. I can quit whenever I want. I'm not addicted to alcohol. I can stop whenever I want. I just do it for fun, for social, right? You can never get rid of it if you don't acknowledge it. Oh yeah, weed doesn't do anything. I'm just as productive. You have to acknowledge it to be able to make the change, right? That process, that's what builds power. If we go to 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7, it says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, right? Like literally the gold is just for this life. But this trial that we endure, that builds us, that builds the character, that molds us and sculpts us into the man, that's worth way more than anything this world can provide. That trial that builds us, that creates us into a new us, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. Like Jesus Christ, he honors this. He honors this fight. He honors this battle, right? The trial of your faith. And there wouldn't be a battle if it was so easy. Like it's meant to have a battle. It's meant to have ups and downs. It's meant to realize that we need God, that we need Jesus, that we need his strength, that we need his energy, that he fulfills us with every single day, and use that as fuel to create the best version of yourself in glory of Christ, as representation of Christ. So when people look at you, they don't see some old fat goofball who's praising God. No, they see this high test masculine man who's leading the other people in their life, who can, actually have self-control, looks good, right? These external things, they show your character. Now, they don't mean anything, like just like it says, the gold perishes. Your physique doesn't mean anything, your discipline, but it's the character that you have. And it's what people look at you. And when you call yourself a Christian, when you're open about your faith, then boom, they'll see what Christ has done in your life. That's the beauty, the impact you can make. Jesus doesn't mean anything to these people. You can be reading these verses. I can be reading these verses. They don't mean anything to people who don't believe. But your change does. Your testimony does. The way you carry yourself does. And people see God through that. People see God through you. As Christians, we are the church of God. We are the body of God. And when people look at you, you best believe that you should be a good representation of God. Loving other people, doing the most for other people. Having this self-control that God, the Apostle Paul tells us to have, right? Every great man of God was refined before he was revealed, right? David faced lions before Goliath. Joseph served in prison before the palace. God refines your habits. And refining comes with that process of being broken down, but coming back up, your emotions, your mindset before he releases you into your calling, right? How can you expect to walk in your grand purpose when you're still the guy who wakes up and scrolls on your phone for 2 hours and watches porn till 4 a.m. and drinks every single weekend? How do you expect to walk in God's purpose for you when you're carrying your life out like that? You can't. You can't. That's where obedience comes in. That's the mark of a true warrior. The obedience is what makes you, right? If we go to Deuteronomy in the Old Testament, chapter 5, verse 33, check this out. Check this out. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you to. All your ways. And in the Bible, you see this word all so much because it's not 90% of things. It's not during the weeks and then the weekends you put that life to the side of living with God. No, 100% of the time, not 99% of the time, not when things are going well, not when things are going bad, you put your trust. No, all the time. Walk with the Lord all the time. He's commanded you that ye may live and that it may be well with you and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess. Right? Obedience is choosing to move when you don't feel like it. It's choosing to get out of this bed and putting your purpose over pleasure. It's choosing to, when you catch yourself scrolling, turn your phone off and hit some push-ups or read the word. It's choosing, getting in the Bible instead of reading these podcasts. It's choosing going to the gym, eating healthy instead of playing video games and eating chips, right? God can't trust a man who's led by comfort instead of conviction. Every act of obedience builds spiritual muscle, right? This muscle, every single act, right? This is how he forges warriors. Your cravings, pushing aside your pleasure of playing video games all day and eating chips, that directly goes into bringing that same self-control that's used, right? Is the same self-control that's used to, boom, when you think a lustful thought, bringing it to the obedience of Christ, right? It's the same. Nothing is different. Nothing is different. It's self-control. It comes down to that. And guys, endurance is where the reward comes. This is the requirement of the reward, right? I'm not saying this to do this one day. I'm not saying this to do this every other day. I'm saying it all, literally it said, like I said in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 33, ye shall walk in all the ways, every single day. Every single day. This is the new way of life. But guess what? It's not you who has to do it. Oh, I haven't been disciplined for 19 years of my life. Cool. Guess how I made the change so fast? I didn't. God did. God did. You literally have God, Jesus Christ, by your side, right? And this endurance, if we go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11, check this out. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Afterwards, after you stick to the process, after you keep going, after God builds you, after he molds you and sculpts you, endurance is what separates the chosen from the uncomfortable. Right? That's the separation. Pretend I'm endurance. This is the chosen. This is the comfort. Right? This is the bridge called endurance. Every day you choose to endure, you prove that you're not just a temporary follower. You're actually this soldier. You're actually this disciplined man who can wake up and choose the purpose. So, imagine yourself. Imagine how much better life would be if you didn't have that phone addiction. If you didn't have to smoke weed to feel relaxed or to drink alcohol to get social and find a little bit of confidence. Imagine you're just this best version of yourself. You're putting God's path in front of yours. You're hanging around other people who do, which, by the way, I built out a ton of courses and communities just for $1 a day, talking about all this kind of stuff: mindset, habits, nutrition, training, theology, case studies, Bible studies, how to align yourself with the man God is calling you out to be. And obviously the community where people all around the world come together to follow Christ, and we're all these ambitious, disciplined, masculine men coming together. First thing in the description. But guys, truly, imagine a different life where you had that community of guys that you can trust, that you can be vulnerable with, that you can grind together and truly unleash the best version of yourself. Wake up, same time every single day, getting into the word, getting into prayer, right? Walking in the pleasure. And imagine how much more God would entrust you with. Imagine how much better, more fulfilling your life would be. Right? Every day you choose to endure, you prove it's not temporary. You prove this is your new identity, that you're a soldier, and God promotes men who persist when others quit. Right? You can either see these things as temptations for you to stop, for it to knock you off your path, or you can see it as a test to advance you. Right? And the school system completely eroded tests, right? Tests are kind of made for us to fail. But test, like if you actually go back to the real word of test, it's like it's meant to excel you. It's meant to test you, and then so you can move forward, not to push you down, not so you can feel guilty. No, that's temptation. Temptation is what's like tempts you to knock you off your path. Like the little devil and the angel on your shoulder. Like there's one that's like, you know what I mean? That temptation that's trying to bring you down. Those distractions. But tests in our life move us forward, right? No chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. These disciplines, and this is the first part of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem good, but once you like truly live this type of week, like just imagine the most routine version of yourself, like how good that would feel. Like you're just boom, you snap out of bed, you hit some push-ups, drink some water, smash a cool shower, get into the word, pray, leading other people in your life. God has entrusted you with this godly woman now that you can lead your own life. God is helping you lead the life of one of his daughters. All right, like how sick is that? How sick is that? The life of discipline is the best life. That's like the mark of a true warrior. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that, brother. If you guys like the video, God bless you guys. It's one of my favorite topics. But yeah, like I said, I dropped all the courses. You guys can get access to all my courses and the full brotherhood community for just $1 a day in the top link of description. Like just being around, like that's the hardest part of this, is being around like-minded people. But we got it for you. We got all the courses. You guys can literally delete YouTube off your phone and just watch these and like actually edify your brain. Actually plant good seeds. Be around good people. It's hard, but it's important. God bless every single one of you guys. God can't use men who give into comfort. Never forget that.